Hey, everybody.
What's up, everybody? We are live and here.
Yes.
We are
at the
just
Moxie
alive.
one more time.
At the Moxie. Thank you, Moxie, for having us in your podcast room. This is Houseology Live, and we are live. I am DJ Ketone, and we got Rave Daddy Robbie over there.
Thank you.
What's
thank
up,
you.
Rave
Looking
Daddy
a little
Robbie?
gray today, but whatever. I guess. I don't know. Got a little shadow work going on here. I like this. That it looks like I'm wearing a baseball cap, even though I'm not. Anyways.
What's up, man?
But, good weekend. Lots going on. Played over at Concrete Jungle twice and Saigon Blonde.
Very nice.
And that was great. Saigon Blonde wasn't too bad. I had Soy Pasha as my guest show up. And, he always plays a great set. And he did a great job. And we had a pretty decent turnout. But, it was the Thursday before Halloween. So I knew it was kind of a hit and miss kind of thing anyways. I realized that we either were A, going to have a decent turnout, or B, not have a decent turnout at all. And it kind of was, kind of sort of
in between.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly what it ended up being. It ended up being in between because, as we found out, of course, going on to our events from Friday night, everybody came to our event Friday night.
Fire. Friday was a great event, man.
What an amazing, amazing night.
Tell us a little bit about you guys downstairs.
So you know what? Downstairs, I had a very unique lineup. You know what? I wanted to talk to you about this because I actually went home and thought about it a little bit more in detail after everything had settled down, and just kind of put that night together. So downstairs, I had a total of 5 of us, and we actually had DJs ranging in just starting with just a few months to maybe a year under the belt.
Okay.
To DJs that had 30 plus years in the game.
Yep, sure enough.
We had DJs that were writing their own music. I had tech house DJs. I had house DJs, and I even had a breaks DJ in there. And then it was great because we really held the crowd for quite some time downstairs, and all the guys did such a great job. We started out with Over Easy,
Man,
aka
I love Over Easy. He's such a good dude.
Yeah, he was so nice, so excited, having so much fun, and really enjoyed what he was doing. And and that was one of the things I mentioned to you upstairs was I love the fact that like so many of these guys were just so happy to play.
Yeah.
And we're so thankful. Mm-hmm. And it's not funny. And the funny thing is, I really appreciate that. And I'm really glad that they were so happy, but they shouldn't have been surprised. They were all great talents and did a great job.
Yeah.
After Over Easy, we had L'Inventor, Anthony Bucello.
Yep.
And he played a great set. He went a little darker, a little techno-y.
He always plays a little dark tech house.
Yep. That's kind of what he likes.
Yeah.
And then after him was my great friend Eric Collins, which I haven't had a chance to talk to Eric since Saturday.
Okay.
But I'm going to say it on the show here and mention, but so I put Eric at 11 o'clock, right?
That's a good time.
And I should, well, okay.
That's almost peak hour for us.
Okay. Yes. Okay. I put Eric at 11, not even really contemplating. Originally, my thought was, okay, he's going to, this will be a good spot. It'll probably be mediocrely busy right now, rising up still.
Yep.
There probably won't be a ton of people there. It'll be a good spot for him to be in. Now, I also want to point out, Eric hasn't really played for like 2 plus years.
Okay.
Hasn't played on CDJs for 2+ years. Never played on the A9. And then also we decided that I was cool with it. We let him also play off of Serato on the 3000s and the A9, which was all a new set. Now, I helped him out with some of that stuff, and I'm not trying to take away from his luster or anything like that. But I wanted to make sure there weren't any problems.
Yeah. Like a good host.
Yeah, thank you. And he gets up there, and about the first 10 minutes was a little bumpy and that, but as soon as he settled in, I could see it. Like
That's
at
everybody.
11 minutes and 30 seconds, he gets in, and then everything is just solid.
Yeah.
And I said, and remember I told you, I said, oh, there you go. There's 30 years behind the decks right there. Didn't play for over 2 years in front of people on equipment he's not really familiar with, and playing breaks in front of a very young crowd, which also had to be a little intimidating considering Eric's one of the older gentlemen in the scene. Killed it.
Yeah.
And you know,
we needed them. Those kids need breaks in their lives. They needed a little bit. They just needed to get a touch of it, you know?
I mean, I suppose. Oh, and by the way, because of what you just said, I actually really fucked Eric good. I put him on the busiest hour of the entire part of the night, which was crazy. And he totally killed it, and he did a great job. And he was so happy.
No doubt. I was actually excited that you put him on the lineup.
It was awesome. And then so Eric did an amazing job, and really just showed how it's done. And you know what? If he continues that attitude and continues that perspective towards his performance, as far as and by the way, like. He was playing some classic breaks, some of that classic Florida break sound that we all know, but then he was definitely playing also newer breaks.
Okay.
And you could tell, and a lot of really bassy, grimy, dirty, grimy bass. Yeah, it was awesome.
You recorded it, didn't you? I can't wait to hear it.
Yes, the entire set is recorded, yes. So, and all that, and the kids loved it. But I'm telling you, we have a lot of old heads in our scene. A lot of them are friends. Some of them are very close friends.
Yeah.
That are just stuck in this track of breaks and whatever they think everyone wants to hear, and will not change genres, will not dare play another genre, and heaven forbid anything, because that's the only thing everyone wants to hear.
Yeah.
And what do? They bitch and moan and complain, and they post about it, and nobody comes to my events, or these kids are just little, snot-nosed brats, blah, 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 blah.
They are.
But the approach that Eric took towards that show on Saturday night, if all those guys took his lead and understood what he was doing there, and that they would have the young kids
to hear the mixes he put together for that. I definitely want to hear it. I didn't get a chance to because I was outside corralling these kids.
You were doing a great job.
Just come on, kids, come on, right
here.
Yeah,
and I think that's what pulled in a lot of people too. For sure, that is definitely what ended up pulling in a lot of people, was you interacting with the crowd and stuff. And I'm not afraid to share it. I don't think there's any problem with it. But we did over $20,000 in sale that night.
Even higher than that.
A New Year's Eve. Yes, a New Year's Eve level of sales at Concrete Jungle, and we appreciate everybody coming out. And by the way, so Callie played after that, and then I closed it out. Callie got on 15 minutes early, and then forced me to go on 15 minutes early, and wouldn't let me no for an answer. And I played from 12:45 until 2:35 in the morning.
Oh, you did 2 hour?
I did an hour and 45-minute set. And I have to admit it, everybody told me how great they loved the set. I held those kids until about 2:10 in the morning. Yeah.
That's a good long set.
So it was finally then that they slowly started to dwindle and close out. And once I just had a group of about 40 or 50 people just standing around is when I finally wrapped it up, and we called it a night.
Yeah.
But it was a great night.
Yeah.
Great talent. Thanks to everybody for coming downstairs and being part of our little version of hell.
That was hell. Yeah. That was hell.
So what was happening to you upstairs?
We had Mabel open up the night, and M Sola is what she goes by in the scene, and man, she had some fire ass tracks, dude. I mean, wow. And I'll tell you what, I've been following her journey for a while because I think she's cool. She's really down to earth. And I followed her from when she started DJing, which hasn't been much. I think it was within this year that she's been learning to DJ. Mm-hmm. And man, from when I first heard her spin to when she spun with us on Friday, it was a whole nother level of confidence and track selection. And like she just
started early upstairs too. We started about 10 minutes early. Yep.
Yeah, and I mean she was just off the rip, energy, high level, kept people there, dancing. She was energized, within her set. It was exciting to see for somebody who was such a beginner. And because she's really been doing some residencies around town too. So shout out to you, M Sola. You did a great job. Thank you so much for opening up Concrete Friday for Halloween. And then after that, we had Salvatore AM.
Yep.
He's always fire. Does a great job. He's one of the grooviest dudes in the scene right now that I think he's just straight pure groove. You know what I mean? He'll groove you for an hour, 2 hours easy.
I agree.
And then we had Lando, who came up from Miami, which he was a talent we went out and purchased because we want to sign his music. We're more record label focused, so
sure.
For us, we're not going out to pay a DJ to come sell tickets. We're we're having them come out to play for us to sign their music, for us to get to know them, make connections and such like that. That's our back end goal. Not that we could care less about the tickets, but for us, it's the music first.
Sure.
So Lando came out with his Miami groove, his Latin house, and which was perfect. We had M Sola, Salvador AM, and then we led up right up to Lando. I mean, it couldn't have been a better way to flow of the night. You know, the energy just kept going up and up. And then we had Evie and Ye close out the night. And if anybody around the scene knows anything about Evie and Ye, you know that these guys stay with the energy, even with Afro House. And I have to admit, if it was me playing Afro House, my Afro House sets are like chill. Like they're Afro. For me, it feels chill. Nothing about them is chill when it comes to Afro House. Not a thing, dude.
Most of their sets are not chill.
It's just crazy to me how you could have two different sets, because I'll look for Afro House, but I'll never find anything as quite as powerful or energetic as what I hear them play. So they really know their music. It's really good to see. They killed the night. They closed it really proper. They kept everybody there. It was a full house by the end of the night. It's just people sweating from dancing to their music, and they close out with a really high energy Afro House set. And I was outside corralling the kids, you know.
Well, we had brought in all the extra sound upstairs.
Oh yeah, Rich Sound. Rich, by the
sound.
way, DJ Rich, big ups to you, man. We love you, appreciate you.
Brought in all the extra sound, and then we had some lights. And tops, bottoms, as far as the subs and everything concerned. You could definitely tell they were being worked. Everything sounded great downstairs too. Like you know, it always sounds good. We were able to like bring that volume up pretty good. It was crazy.
Downstairs has been tuned proper. So we've never had to do anything downstairs. No, we haven't had to add any sound at all.
Yep.
And it's great. They did that great. And upstairs was always a dinner type vibe. So
correct.
They never planned for it to be like club ish. So we do our thing.
It just has that one sub. Upstairs just had the one sub and the tops. But apparently, though, that what the Concrete Jungle is telling us is there's going to be more sound being put in.
Yeah.
And they're going to be putting in some more lights. So, you know, they're going more clubby now there. Yeah. And they're going to be no more food, just Friday and Saturday nights for right now. And opens up at about 8 or 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
And we have the upstairs and downstairs, and oftentimes they're trying to do a little bit of different groove. Got a new management team there over the last couple weeks. And they're doing great. Smiley, Kaylee, awesome job. Love working with them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it really is good because it really feels like they're interested in growing and trying some new things. I always refer to it as the curse, the 3rd Street curse, but basically if there's any venue that's past 3rd Street in downtown, it doesn't get any business.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to pull. And that was the craziest thing about Concrete Jungle too, again, on Friday with what we did there. But that was strictly because you were out front calling as our, what do you call it, circus caller or whatever they call those things back then?
I was clowning it.
Yep.
I was clowning for sure.
Well, I don't know if it was clowning it.
Oh, I was clowning. We were having a good time, man. I was calling everybody out.
I was just later hosing. So,
hey, listen, the ladies love the leader hosing.
I bet they do. Yep.
But, all right, so in some other things, guys, we had Haunted Fest was this weekend, brought to you by, who was that brought Haunted Fest?
Haunted Fest was Breakaway.
Breakaway,
yeah,
that's
the Breakaway
right.
team, yep.
And they had some real talent up there. They sold like crazy. They had the place packed. People were saying they couldn't even get in. It was so crazy packed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know. I hadn't heard much about it.
Yeah. So the first night was Disclosure as a headliner. So people were pulling up like crazy. I'm a Disclosure appreciator, but I'm not a fan. You know, it is good music, but people love it.
Some of their tracks are. I like some of their tracks, but a lot of people, you know, that's actually a great headliner for around here because, again, as we were just talking about our old heads and stuff here in the scene and everything, Disclosure is kind of a nice little.
Yeah, in between.
They
sure.
bridge the gap really well.
For sure.
And they have tracks that sound with that old sound to them. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, that's actually a good direction to go on that, and it was a smart move.
They had Matroda, too, which is my vibe.
Oh, I love
That's
Matroda.
me. That's my vibe all the way. Dark, tech housey, driving bass lines, my vibe. But
I opted to work all last weekend.
So did I.
I took money in as opposed to putting money out.
Same.
But I still ended up putting money out. It didn't matter.
Yeah, we always do when we partying, you know? Well, we won't get into those details.
No. I don't know what you're talking about. I was sober and lucid the entire weekend.
I bet Lucy.
It was so boring. Like I'm telling you, all hour and a half sleep.
Yeah. I didn't get much sleep either, dude. It was a crazy weekend. But so we also, just to get into what's coming up, it is EDC week.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yep. Lots going on. There.
Orlando is about to go crazy. I
Yep.
mean, I think it's like an influx of 50,000 people or something. Or
Yes.
so for the weekend.
I mean, they pack him into what's the name of the field now?
Let me see. I got it right here.
Camping
Tinkerfield.
World. Tinkerfield. Thank you.
Yes.
Camping World Stadium. Yep.
Yes.
And they bring in they've got that packed out, and they've had it really packed out over the field. That's actually part of the reason why I stopped going. I know I bitch about and moan about everything, right? But I'm not really complaining. I just the old man in me just doesn't like getting crushed into 45,000 25-year-olds who are not part of the planet anymore.
Yeah, I feel that.
And it just was just like that you get to a certain point and you just that energy level is just a bit much anymore. You know,
Yeah.
You can deal with maybe a day of it.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
whatever.
that's
Yeah.
what I normally do. Is I normally do like a day.
Yeah. And then so that's why, I think like hula appeals to so many of us older folks or what's the one up in Michigan? I'm drawing a blank.
I know what you're talking about. Forbidden?
No.
What is it? What'd you say? Movement? Oh,
no,
yes, movement.
No,
that's
shoot, I'm drawing a blank. I can't believe I forgot about it. But anyways, the one up in Rothbury. But that also attracts a much older crowd as well.
Arc?
No, not Arc. We're naming everyone in Michigan except that one. I can't believe I'm not. It's just, it'll come to me in a minute. I'll scream it out in about 15 minutes.
Okay.
But and that was one thing about Imagine too. Imagine was kind of a young, medium-aged
Yes, it was.
festival too, and then Imagine, of course, is gone. But yeah, lots of things going on there. Lots of afters. We have lots of friends that are doing the afters there, and got a couple hotel takeovers going on. Just have afters going everywhere. But that brings me to one of my topics that I was mentioning to you though before the show.
Okay.
And I was saying, just like with Ultra though now, it used to be when you would be doing an afters at Ultra Music Fest, to get on the lineup at afters was a prestigious thing. It was like a big deal. You got on there, lots of people you're going to be playing in front of like 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 plus people, especially if you go into one of those warehouse parties. Who knows how many people would be there? But now we live in this day and age where, of course, every third person is a DJ. And then there are like 28, 40, 50, 100 after parties going on now over in Orlando. And although, yes, I have a lot of my friends playing in these after parties, I made the comment to you, I was like, does it really matter anymore? Because it used to be where, yes, you would go over there and just like at Ultra, doing an after at EDC would be cool. You play at Celine or one of those other venues, or there would actually be another crowd that would there you'd have a bit much bigger crowd at one of those events, one of the warehouse parties nearby. But now, since there's so many and there's so many going on, as I described it to you, and I think the one that's the problem or the disconnect here too is the fact that my story is just getting inundated with after parties at EDC. So
I feel
the
you.
good ones are getting lost.
Yeah.
And then there's so many that it really like.
Yeah.
You know
what I think what happened here this year is what is the name of that event company that did Homebase? So we'll just stick with Homebase.
Music festival events.
Yeah, so Homebase fucked up this year.
Yep.
And
We
I
were
think
all
that
part of that.
and I think that opened the floodgates for and because last year too, or the year before, it was pretty flooded, but not like this year. And I think that opened the floodgates for people to be like, well, they're going to fuck up again.
Uh-huh.
So I ain't going there. I'm going to go somewhere else. I don't know if that affected their ticket sales or not, but I can only imagine that might have had something big to do with it.
You know what they ended up having to do was, of course, they moved locations. And so they ended up at a the timeshare place, Westgate, thank you, the Westgate property. But then they stopped all ticket sales or well, they stopped public ticket sales or whatever. There wasn't no one night, two
No
night stuff.
no
Yeah,
additional.
you can't just show up Friday night and buy tickets. You
Okay.
had to buy a ticket beforehand. Period.
Okay.
And then they claim they brought in new stuff. But you know, at camp, and they're bringing in new stuff was bringing in Love Island characters and stuff, which I know you love Love Island. I do
Yes,
not
I
love
do,
Love
actually.
Island. But you know,
But I got a house full of girls. They got me
correct.
into it, man.
and so and then a lot of people were like, "Oh, isn't that cool? They brought in Love Island and all that stuff." But again, though, like, why are you bringing Love Island characters into an EDM event?
Yeah.
You know, and so,
Just
but
marketing activation.
correct, and I think that's part of what's going to be going on with this. But yes, I think a lot of people felt like that event going down south was probably opening up a lot more room.
Oh yeah.
But you know, one of the afters events is an all breaks event again. Like is ridiculous. I can't believe
know
you
what?
do a hotel takeover 3 days of breaks. What in the fuck?
But listen, you know what? But you know what? I'm shocked because last year there were a couple breaks DJs on the EDC lineup. I specifically went to look to see if there were any this year because I have a demo to send them, but or a promo to send them, and I don't think there are any.
Plug. No, I'm sorry. Go on.
I don't think there are any. I can't.
No,
I don't think there's a single one, and which was crazy because I think I saw maybe a year or 2 years ago I saw On the Mic on there and I think I saw Icy too. I
Yes.
saw Susie Solar too.
Yeah.
You know, so people who would mix in at least a break track at some point would have been in there. But this is nothing.
You know what?
There's none.
You mentioned Susie. Did I happen to tell you about her set at the Divine Freak Show last weekend? Did I mention anything about
You
it?
told me about it. You said it was fire.
Oh yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. But again,
But she's never let me down.
right. But
Ever.
I just want to go back real quick when I was talking about Eric and
Okay,
saying
yeah,
if he
yeah.
keeps playing like that,
Yeah.
he will bridge the gap to the younger crowd and he will have a following and he will be able to move forward.
Sure.
This is another reason why Susie is still moving forward because
Oh, yeah.
she plays to the crowd like she's supposed to play. She's playing popular recent music like she's supposed to be playing.
Yep.
And sure enough, yeah, she could drop breaks in the middle of a set just as good as anyone because she comes with all of our friends that they're all basically the same age.
Yep.
And all that. But like I made the joke, I said she could have flipped the fucking decks into the crowd and walked straight out the front door and nobody would have even stopped her. Like that she owned that place with that set. And I think last year there was a lot of conversation and talk that people were under the impression or thinking that breaks were making a comeback because a few artists had dropped some break songs.
Yeah.
And there are definitely a lot of more well-known tracks too that have breakdowns in the middle of them, which is neat.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I like it. Like it's neat that they do that because it does break it up. But the fact that they do it for 20 or 30 seconds is perfect.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know,
You don't want a whole 8-minute breaks track.
there is a certain level of energy you get with breaks.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
absolutely.
And you got to remember, bro, like, give me some credit. You know how breaks I am. But yet I let one of my closest friends who I knew was going to play breaks his entire, even when the manager Smiley at Concrete was like, yeah, when I heard breaks, I was kind of like, But then about 20 minutes in, I was like, no, this is fucking working.
Yeah, nice.
And it did. And so, you know, I just want to prove that I'm not like completely like, you know, closed-minded and narrow-visioned.
I feel you. And I'm glad it worked out, especially downstairs.
But I think a 3-day hotel takeover of nothing but breaks artists that weren't popular, not been popular for 10 years is a little bit ballsy.
Oh, shit. Well, that's a whole nother subject on its own, huh?
Yeah, you know.
But
Remember,
let me see
if
where
we
we're
have
at.
an event and I play it, that will make me John Summit.
Yes.
Remember,
you
I
never
will
know.
do my own events.
You never know, man.
Well, and again, that's what I said to you too before the show. It's like, now the likelihood that you happen to be playing on the decks at that time and some producer who's 27 different which ways from sober staggers in the door and hears you playing and starts throwing his credit cards at you. I'll sign you now. That might possibly happen 1 in 1 million times,
Yeah.
but the likelihood of it happening at an afters at EDC probably is not going to.
Yeah, maybe.
But-
Hey, but listen, we got SHARI in the building. DJ
Hello,
Mighty
hello.
SHARI joined us, and Jeff Jefferson, the DJ, who are doing EDC afters. So we definitely want to get their perspective on the scene and also the backstory. We want to get to learn and know you a little more. Do we have a zoom out? Can we show?
Well, yeah, I was. Hold on.
SHARI?
Hold on. Hold on a second.
SHARI
wait,
in
hold on a
here.
second.
Oh, no, that's weird. But we'll fix it after the commercial. When we come back from commercial,
Yeah,
we'll
that
make
might
sure
just
you guys-
be.
Yeah, we have a little commercial break that we.
Well, there we go.
into.
I just did that live on air. I didn't mean to do that, but zoom out like that. But that
was probably cool.
Yeah, not really, not really. It wasn't cool. I promise you, it was not.
Let me see.
Because these cameras have a setting on them, and I just realized last week that that in the OBS software, nobody else is going to understand what I'm talking about, probably, but in the OBS software, it sends this huge long string to the camera, and every time I tell the camera to do a move, it resets the speed and
I see.
acceleration of the camera. So it doesn't matter if I go to the camera individually and say I wanted to do like, so it could do this nice little woo and pan out thing,
yeah.
and doing that. Instead, it does this and jerk and nobody can see what I'm doing, but it goes like this, guys. It's like,
Well, before
it goes like that. It's just not. Anyways, it's not efficient. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. Is what my point was.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No,
Rambling.
you're good, man.
Rambling.
Before we go to a commercial break or some music here,
let me get Spotify.
I just want to give a shout out to some people who are in our chat. So what's up, Ismum Blaze? I don't know what that is, but Ismum Blaze, maybe. But they said, what's up? So we said, hi to you. Michael Wentz said, it's great listening to you guys. Thank you, Mike. We appreciate you, man. I put your mastering link in the channel. Correct me if I'm. Oh wait, I did mess that up. I put a X instead of a Z. All right, I'm gonna fix that for you. And then we have DJ Volume in the.
Wait, isn't she at Disney or something?
She is at Disney. But
Get off the show and go ride the ride. Stop.
She loves us so much, but she had to tune in.
She couldn't be without you and I for one night. For reals.
No.
Seriously, come on.
Not at all, dude. That's real love.
It is real love.
But shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for joining us on the chat. We do have a couple more people on there, but I don't know. I can't see who it is in this chat. But we have Finn Forte up. Hey, that's Finn Forte.
Yep. I am a burner.
A burner. That he actually put that out with us and played it at Burning Man.
Nice.
She's on the monorail.
She's on. Oh, okay. Well, I guess then in that case, I guess it doesn't matter.
Put us on the speakers on the monorail, babe. Come on, what are you doing?
Yeah, there we go.
No, but we're gonna hit a quick commercial break. We're gonna come back. We're gonna dive into our guests, DJ Mighty SHARI and Jeff Jefferson from the UK, right? Yeah. Heck yeah. So we got a lot to talk about. You've done some things over the scene, both of you. So this is gonna be really interesting. To get to know you guys a little more, I'm DJ Ketone. We got Rave Daddy Robbie. We are at the Moxie, and we'll be back shortly.
See you guys in a few minutes.
Dusty plains, lost in the desert, fires ablaze as we bare our soul, burning the man under the mountain stars, and leave no trace till we return again. I am a burner, I am a burner, I am a burner with my brothers and sisters. I am a burner, I am a burner with my brothers and sisters. I am a burner with my brothers and sisters. I am a burner, 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 burner. I am a burner with my brothers and sisters. In the forest, we explore art and passion from mighty magnificence. Hand in hand, we embrace each other, our brothers and sisters, together as one. I am a thunder. I am a thunder. I am a burner. lost in the desert, fires ablaze as we bare our soul, burning the man under the mountain stars, and leave no trace till we return again. I am a burner, I am a burner, I am a burner with my brothers and sisters. I am a burner, I am a burner with my brothers and sisters.
Hello, hello. It's got your last swig in there.
I had to get that.
I hope that's not alcoholic.
No, of course not. But it's energetic, and goodbye to my sleep.
Yeah. Yes. What was it? 160 milligrams of caffeine or something?
Yeah, it is. And I'm very caffeine sensitive. So, oh, hello.
I'm not
midnight.
caffeine sensitive, but there are some things that will keep me up for hours. But I'm bumps.
Welcome back, guys. And there you have it. Welcome back to Houseology Live. We are live at the Moxie. I am Ketone. We got Rave Daddy Robbie.
Hello, hello.
And we are joined now by the mighty SHARI.
Hi.
And
Hello,
Jeff
hello.
Jefferson.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming by.
We're in the neighborhood.
Yeah. Which brings us to our first thing. You guys have been busy lately, actually. I've seen you a lot around town. But
I love coming here.
this last weekend, you did Deep Splash, yeah?
Yes. Deep side. And actually, we played a back-to-back set. But Jeff had played Deep Splash a couple of years ago.
Okay, I think I
After
saw
the-
that.
he
I
played
think I
the
saw that.
pier event for
Okay.
late night flights
Yeah,
with the boys. And I actually played the pier this May, which is awesome.
yeah.
And I went in April after.
Don't
Curtis
point with your
and-
microphone. Keep it right here.
Curtis was in our Miami event.
Okay.
At the Moxie Miami, actually.
That's right. I saw that
Yes,
on your
and
profile.
then a Deep Splash was the next weekend, so I came up and surprised everybody. So I've been going to them
Yeah.
for years.
Okay.
And I was really excited. You
Yeah,
know,
at
that
the
they had-
Moxie?
No,
Or at
to
Deep
the
Splash?
Deep Splash of the Hollander.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. It's always a good event out there.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
it's
fabulous.
a pool.
It was a
it's-
tough one this Sunday because
Oh, Halloween.
it was Halloween Friday.
Yeah.
It was Carl Cox on Saturday, and
Oh, yeah.
Curtis played on that
Yeah.
lineup as well.
Yeah.
It was just a heavy weekend for St. Pete. I
Yeah.
heard all about it because
A lot going on.
we stopped in to our friends at Red Thread as well to
Yeah.
see Jason Kitchen.
Yeah.
And we jumped on with him for a little bit the night before.
Yeah, Red Thread's
We-
always a
We
vibe.
played New Year's at Red Thread
Yeah, you did?
together.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yep. When Late Night Flights had their own event.
Yeah.
Yes. And when it just started.
Very
It
cool.
just opened. So very big fans of
Yeah.
the ambiance and food and the music.
Yeah, Lucian's
that
great.
they're- And Lucian.
Yeah.
And our boys over there. So it was Jason and Hoagie on very good Saturday. So that was nice. We saw that too. So yeah, it was lovely. It was really, really was fun.
Yeah. I mean, this weekend, the city was on fire.
Yeah.
So,
Lots going on.
you know, I don't blame anybody for staying in and chilling on Saturday or on Sunday, you know. But it was a beautiful weekend, you
It
know.
was gorgeous. And it was a little chillier than I remember in November because when we were talking about it, I'm like, yeah, one more. Because
Yeah.
I was saying, I don't know if we're going to get one more. And
Yeah.
October was, a chock full lineup. And then
Yep.
I had just been here. We played Saigon with him at House Muse.
Yeah, I've seen you played Saigon a couple times
A
this
couple
year.
times. Yeah, super
there.
excited. We did B3B recently.
The
last month.
3B3.
But I
3B3.
did B2B with Curtis about a year ago. That's super fun.
Yeah.
Really great response. Like I really like playing at House Muse at Saigon and also Exit Bar. That was my first time
Ooh.
recently at Exit Bar.
When did you play that?
I played there. Oh, I'd have to look at the flyer on Insta. Look it up.
Was it this year?
It's a month or two ago.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
recently,
Exit Bar is-
recently.
Exit
And
Bar's a
so
vibe.
much fun. I like it. It's so fun there. The people are receptive, hands in the
Yep.
air, and it
Yep.
looks really packed. You
Yeah.
know, because it's tiny.
Yeah.
So that's really
Yeah,
No,
those
it doesn't
kids-
look packed. It is packed.
Yeah, those kids love
Okay.
squeezing into that
I mean, it looks
back patio
like you
area.
have a couple of hundred people, and maybe you have, 20. No, I mean it's just
No, it's
that
more
has
than
a-
that, but yeah.
it is. I'm
They
being
squeeze
funny.
in there.
But it was packed. I got new fans. The Keen brothers I played with.
Oh, yes,
yeah,
yes.
they're so lovely. I love their music as well. It was a great night.
Tell us
really
a
fun.
little.
And then we were here after. Oh, actually, Saigon. Jeff jumped on with a retro club
Oh,
after
yeah,
hours
retro
when Lee
club.
Reynolds was in town. So
Yes.
yeah, I love playing in St. Pete. I struggle in my own. Well, we can see breaks hotel weekend that you were just saying. And by the way, are you Concrete Jungle like from New York back in the day? I know Concrete Jungle, or is it
No,
just a
Concrete Jungle
coincidence?
here.
Yeah, we have a
There
concrete
was
jungle.
a Concrete Jungle in New York, like in the 90s.
Oh.
Yep.
Yes, I know of it.
Sorry.
I know of it. Yeah, yeah. I never went, but
Are
I
you
know
in a
of it.
lawsuit?
No. No, I started going to. I mean, my first time I ever went to New York was like 1990. Well, no, it was like 2001. But I hadn't known a lot of friends then. Took me out clubbing a little bit then. But I kind of fell out of the clubbing circuit and then started clubbing a lot more in like 2009. But yeah. Anyways,
Anyway, back to me.
yeah.
So it's a great name. And it's and so I love coming to St. Pete because, as you were saying, it's very break heavy. It's very Afro and tech house and minimal in Orlando,
Yeah.
and like Latin
What's your vibe?
influence, like groovy, funky,
Yeah.
driving disco house.
Yeah, I love that.
You know, so it's really been hard to push the sound. There's a couple of friends that are doing events over the past couple years in Orlando, but it's very tough to get in. You know, so I have, you know, the things that people talk about, right? I have ageism and femalism.
Oh,
and
yeah,
now
yeah.
I have soundism too, because it's not, you know, but it's really interesting because I thought, okay, I'm going to have to go play retirement homes and do disco brunches, you know, because no one's
Which
ever
you can
gonna
do here, by the way.
book me,
You
which
can
I
even do
will
that.
I
Oh,
will
don't
look
worry,
at-
we're going to look
yeah.
into that.
We're
They have
totally gonna
events
look
at
at-
any
yes.
place around here, so that's
That
good.
is something because I'm like their age. I don't act it or look like it, but that, you know, I know the vibe. I can bring happiness and
Yeah.
joy, and I really want to do that. I do brunches, and I do disco brunches, Studio 54 parties, but the nighttime I do, you know, group, depend on the time, or like at the Pier, it was more groovy disco, soulful
Sure.
disco house, like Michael Gray and
Yeah.
that vibe. And then, you know, in the nighttime, like with Curtis at House Muse and clubs I play, you know, I'll go more driving, you know, it'll go up to, you know, two-roomy kind of
Sure.
James Hurricane,
Yeah.
you know,
Low step and
classic
stuff.
remixes,
Yeah.
but on a disco house edge. So that's not a sound that's accepted across America as much as in UK.
Right.
You know, that's all they play all the time. You know, and like
Yeah.
90s revisited, and it's not all they. I mean, that was a stretch.
No, but it's
you know,
but it's
very-
it's
it's what they grew
big
up
over
on.
there, yeah.
You know, it's what's working well, and I love it. I grew up in New York, so I grew up on New York house,
okay.
and then I love UK house because I went a lot when I had an agency, which we can talk about back in the
Yes,
day,
we will.
and all the time to London, many times a year. Favorite place, love the music, and then I was in the progressive house scene for a long time, but also in the '90s. Original tech house, not the tech house that's happening today. But like
Tell me
Terry
something about that.
Francis, Richard Gray,
Okay.
Evil Eddie tech house, and so I had, and thus I love funky techno, and I played a lot of different styles. So my disco house goes from my mom's disco roots in the '70s,
Yeah.
you know, to
I mean, that's music.
all through those styles.
That was
so I love
music.
to
That
get
was
dark.
music,
You
yeah,
know, it was
yeah.
funny because I would play progressive music that didn't have vocals back in the day, and then I would put Mara did in some of them, but I put vocals over the techno tracks, and my friends like,
So
"Oh,
you're a
you
DJ.
created tech house." I'm like, I don't think so, but thank you. You know, but we needed that girly vocals when there
Yeah.
wasn't as many and groovy and
Yeah.
kind of. So even though I was a darker sound, and I love that dark, like Lemonade is one of my favorite producers. So yeah, it was a long time in that scene. So I'm taking all my influences for like 4 decades of house and
Yeah.
combining it.
I love
but
that.
it has more of a disco house edge for sure. Like it's classic remixes, disco remixes. You know, I'd like to search and find. You know, I found a Disco Dandies remix of Dindada. So you know, and our Waterfall. You know, we love it. We play it. What is it? Atlantic Ocean Waterfall. Yeah, there's a disco
Okay.
version of that. Like I play classics.
Yeah.
So like I'll play at trippy house. You know, rave people's trippy house parties, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't fit with these styles, but really my motto is anywhere I could play disco house for like from a half an hour to 5.
Yeah.
You know, I'll do it.
So that's why
and,
Curtis likes booking you.
Yeah.
He loves his
because
disco
you're
house.
groovy in your
he
disco
does love
house,
disco
yeah.
house,
Yeah,
but he also
huge.
loves. He's very big on progressive, so it's
I-
my roots.
I
and
give him
then-
shit all the time. I'm like, so how many minutes is it going to take you to get into disco? And he'll be like, I'm not going to play disco, Robert.
we found this DJ that we absolutely love and want to bring here when he was working with us in Miami, and we got stuck. It was flooding, and we got stuck at a hotel. We were moving hotels, and we were in the hotel where we saw this jelly bean. It's this new medium cool. And Curtis is like, oh, I'm going to get you guys a beer at the restaurant at the hotel. I'm like, well, why don't we just go down to the club? You know, and we did. And we saw like Fred Falk and Heidi Lawton. And we're like, oh, she's doing like Shaka Khan and Chic remixes. Like, you know,
Love that.
Like, I love that because I think I lost my train of thought from before. But I want to just expose people. I have to play a lot of after hours because, you know, the venues aren't there for me in Orlando.
I love after hours.
And it's so fun. But I'll play with like Jesse James.
You
who
play a
plays
lot
of Afro, and it'll be like, girl, what are these? Like, the people are shazamming my tracks, and they're excited.
You play a lot
so
of
once
afters
they
in your area?
hear it, they love it.
Oh, yeah.
But what I want to say is the 20-year-olds are now coming up to me. I've never heard Disco House. I love it. You're so good. And then, you know, I love the uplifting and driving sound.
Yeah.
So the feedback, a step back, coming, and we'll talk about this, but coming out of a project we worked together during lockdown, there was a debate in this app and we'll get to that. And there was, you know, friends that were producing techno and a UK vocal house, disco house. And there was a little bit of a battle. What will people want, you know, when it reopens? And we're all like, happy uplifting music.
Yeah.
And they're like, duh. And techno won. And we're like, why is techno winning? You
Yeah.
know? No offense, techno, but why? You know,
Techno
we
is
want-
still winning.
So, you know,
Kinda
but
crazy.
I
Yeah.
want,
Techno's
you know,
amazing.
but when I get off from the pier, you know, with late night flights or sessions and different clubs, venues in Orlando, and people come, and even like a little open decks for short, and people are like, your set made me so happy. I'm
Yes.
so uplifted, and you know, I'm seeing a disco house resurgence in pockets in America.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
You know, talking with those producers, and yeah, we're just trying to push the sound. Like the more people that hear, and really, you know, I don't want to I get sometimes pigeonholed with disco. So disco house isn't, you know, Studio 54 or we're playing 70s disco remixes, you know, of, you know, redoing the vocals all the time.
Yeah.
So that's also a challenge, you know,
Yep.
because I do the Studio 54 parties at lovely lounges in Winter Park, Morse Code, but, you know, it's hard to people to really, you know, to really know what the sound is, but once they hear it, they love it.
Do you mean like Purple Disco Machine and stuff like that, or you mean like a little more underground?
A little more underground. So I love Purple Disco Machine tracks, but I play more underground, and I'm really good at afters and nighttime sounds because it's more, as I was saying, like house
Groovy.
remixes and driving, you know, up to like really
I'd
driving
be curious.
tracks. So
I've never
it's-
caught a set from you, so I definitely got to catch a set.
You will have to catch
I have
a
to
set,
catch a set.
and I have some mixes up on, not too many, you know, but some mixes
You don't
up
want to give
on.
them away, huh? You're not giving it away. They got to come see you.
No, I'm a total perfectionist, and it's like,
Oh,
you know,
she is, yeah. Because
It's- it's
I
like-
have to master her mixes.
Oh yes.
So
hey,
you
don't
know.
give away my secrets. You know, so you know, and I'm more about you know, I grew up in this industry.
Yeah.
I had one of the first booking agencies.
We're definitely gonna
America.
touch
We'll get
that.
it. And I know music, so I know over the years I knew how to pick DJs to represent and music to, you know, remix and license. And I know DJs, I know music, but I don't have that. I'm not as technical, you know. I don't have music theory that a lot of DJs I raised or ex-partners or current partners, they're drummers or piano players, and you know, I don't have that. So it's instinct, and I'm not as technically. I'm more about programming than
Sure.
You know,
Sure.
so
You know the music, I'm sure, which you can get into, Jeff
Oh, yeah,
Jefferson. You
yeah.
do. Well, let's get in a little bit about your background and what you've done in music and such.
Oh, wow. Where do you want to start?
Let's start at the beginning. We'll
Oh, well,
work our way up.
she's got more history than I have anyway. But yeah, I started 80s playing music, going, you know, but I was believe it or not, I was a drummer in a punk and rock band when I was younger.
Okay.
So I've always been into music, always
Okay.
been drumming in bands and things like that. And then during the acid house revolution, I got into acid house.
Okay.
And because, you know, the UK, you know, in the late 80s, the 90s, our rave culture.
Yeah.
That
was the culture. It
That was the culture.
Yeah.
We grew up on raves, going out in the field, middle of nowhere, you know, at 4 a.m. in the morning.
You
and
got any
just
crazy
walking
stories for us from
Yeah,
that?
I've got a few crazy stories, but then again, I was playing out. I was playing techno back then, and
Original
rave music-
techno.
yeah. Now this was when you say original techno. this is like German hardcore, you know.
Yep.
Love that.
That techno now.
Yep.
Not the techno that we're listening to now. And
Alien,
it's-
Form you like.
It's like techno.
Mm.
Yeah.
And then I'm playing, you know, the rave, going to the raves, seeing my friends. One of my friends was an MC at a raves, but that culture was we're sort of like born into that. The people that you know at my age, just going out raving, getting into music, and then I just started. You know, a friend of mine, we had an old Technics turntable and a double tape cassette player, and a little. Somebody posted this on my Facebook the other day. It was a realistic mixer that we got from a shop, and it was called Tandy's electrical shop.
Okay.
And it was so basic. It had a crossfader, it had no EQs, and a big button, you know, for your queuing and everything like that, and the little dials that went across like that. I
Okay.
don't know if you ever saw
Rotary,
those.
rotary.
It wasn't even rotary. It was a fader, but the fader was about this long. Yeah, it was basic, but that's all we had back
Yeah.
in the day, and we
Yeah.
just, you know, stuck our acid house records on, put a mixtape on, and just started messing about. Nobody actually taught me how to mix two records together, but I think being a drummer, you know,
I
you
can
get
see how that
beats
helped.
and
Yep.
it
Totally.
helps.
Yeah.
Yep.
It helps. So just doing that and progressing with my DJ career, playing, you know, little bars in my hometown of Birmingham. And then I was picked up by a big brand called Miss Moneypenny's back in the UK.
Yeah, I wanted to ask
So-
you a little bit about that.
Yeah, so Moneypenny's, and big shouts out to Jim McDerm and Michael and Lee. They're the owners of Miss Moneypenny's brand.
Okay.
And we were branded the world's most glamorous club. So I got signed with those boys. And
Okay,
I
wait.
was
So it was a
traveling.
club? It was a club, or is it a record label?
It's both. It was that we actually had both, yeah. And
Okay.
it started off little parties, little boat parties. We used to do an industry party a couple of times a year called Chuff Chuff, which were really famous.
What does that mean?
In the UK.
Does that
Took
mean
over
something?
estate homes like the first.
So
brand
Chuff
to-
Chuff. So the little symbol was a little steamboat, and
Okay.
you know, with the smoke coming out,
Yep.
Chuff Chuff.
Yeah. Okay.
So they called it Chuff Chuff parties, and it was like industry people. It was more or less, big industry party.
They
It
had
happened on a
themes
Sunday.
like Wild West. And
Okay.
what
Yeah,
other-
it was. Everything was a theme.
Yeah.
Pirates of the Caribbean, superheroes,
I love that.
all those. So you know, big DJs. But back then, I started going to Moneypenny's before the guys actually took me on board and had faith in me. And then after that, I was playing all over the world. I was touring all over, but I never actually. Jim Shaff-Ryan, he came to the US, but I never actually got this far. I mean, I got to Colombia and Dubai, Turkey, and most of Europe playing, you know, and guesting with people and being one of their, you know, main touring residents.
Wow, that's cool.
You know, I always found this interesting in the life cycle of DJ EDM producer. If you were Cher or Elton John or anybody like that, you'd be in Vegas getting $20 million a night to do your show.
Yep.
But instead, we all just die off and disappear or something like that.
well, that's right. Yeah, you play.
Because
You know.
you just said, and I say that jokingly, not insultingly, but
Yes.
like you were just traveling around the world in Dubai and Colombia. So if they were traveling to Dubai and Colombia, you know, that's $25 million a night, so on and so forth. We do that, and we have the popularity and all that stuff, and then usually by about 50, and then starts to
So
taper off.
it starts to-
yeah,
yeah.
And then it's just like
And even what
Well,
become
also, I
funniest.
think, you know, he was.
it's hilarious.
You know, when a brand takes you around, but you don't have an agent pushing you,
Uh-huh.
and you're just in the brand world, and you're known. And when I go to Birmingham, I first visit him, everyone's like, Jeff. I'm like, oh, Jeff is popular. He's a legend. You know, but you kind of get outside of that circle. But
Yeah.
you know, he got, you know, well, you have to say what else you. We'll get to the Marinis as well, but you know, but Moneypenny's is. I never made it there, but as Jeff said, world's most glamorous club,
Yeah,
and they
legendary.
brought a lot of American
I mean,
house DJs
yeah.
over, and they were like precursors to what we have today. Elro, they had the first
Yes.
drag queens on, you know, the
I
glamour.
checked out some of their
the-
marketing, and I saw that they are deep. They are they seem like the culture.
It was their culture at that time because with the club in Birmingham, you know, people were going out and getting dressed up and making it a night out.
Mm-hmm.
People were going to, you know, on a Saturday afternoon going clothes shopping just to come to the club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you imagine like all those people in a nice. It was only
Now,
not
wait,
very big
clothes
club.
shopping though. Are we talking about club clothes that we think of today, or are we talking about
No,
nice clothes?
we're talking about
Rave gear.
not rave gear, but nice shoes,
okay,
nice
dress
Okay, so
trousers,
you're
and
actually
just
so he's
formal.
at, like
Yeah.
dressy up clothes.
yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Yep. Mhm.
You're not wearing trainers and jeans or sweaters or
Okay.
hoodies and things
It's weird
like
how
that.
that's
These
changed
are-
so much over the years as well.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, and it has, because now you see people, coming. I know it's hot over here, but people going out to clubs in shorts and things like that. And I know it's weird
Less
for me
than that
because
in
I live
some
in the
cases.
UK where the weather's like shitty all the time.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
No, there's
Most
3
of the
months. It's
time.
not too bad.
Oh, yeah.
3 months.
Yeah, well, you might get 3 months, or you might just get 3 weeks, and then back to rain and then the cold and the
Yes,
wind and everything.
yes.
But it was a time where that clubbing eras, people wanted to go out, wanted to party, wanted to look good, wanted to go and see the DJs. It was great. There was, we didn't have mobile phones with cameras on, and we weren't recording anything, but it was all up in your head.
Yeah. You think that's
nights.
an issue now too? The phones
Oh.
and clubs. You think it's an issue? On your honest opinion.
Yes.
We don't have to stick on it too
No,
much.
we don't
but,
have to stick on it, but
But yeah,
He's
you
trying
have
to
this
trigger
problem.
me. Is what he's
I'm trying to trigger and get a reaction because, as you know, look what's happening in Ibiza at the moment.
Yeah.
This no phone culture and everything. But
Sure.
then, I mean, yes, I get it. Memories,
Mm-hmm.
okay, memories. But when you see like a sea of phones, all videoing Marco Corolla, and it's light or it's dark, and the guy's playing. You've paid good money to go and see this guy.
Yeah.
Take a few snapshots and a few memories, and say, yeah, I'm here. But and to me, what is the reason you are really paying this money for? Why are you here?
It's social status for people.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah. It's
It
a
is.
social
Yeah, I was going to say you're not 24, so that's the difference.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
and that we talked about this briefly last week when we were at before and after Sound Lab. He brought it up, and I just a lot of older people in the
You
scene
crushed
though.
me for a second.
I'm sorry, I did.
You crushed
you know what I did?
for a second.
I tangented just a little bit, but I'm. Even though I'm 48, I'm still fairly defensive of a lot of my friends who are 24, 25. These kids aspire and want to be John Summit or
Yes,
Tiesto or
yeah.
whoever. That's not what you guys did.
No.
That's not what the 54-year-old here who's got a residency is doing now. There were other goals, but not that you guys didn't want to be maybe a hip hop star or maybe be scratching
yeah.
behind somebody or something like that as well. But just because, I mean, they live in a culture that has grown up around the phone. You live in a culture where the phone was introduced to.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
there's the difference.
Yeah.
And it just because they want to record and stuff doesn't mean they're not living in the moment. Doesn't mean they're not enjoying it. It's just that's the culture they live in now.
I agree. That's the culture that
We have to be a little easier on our kids. We
do
can't
have to
be
be.
the
Half and
crotchety
half.
old man.
I
You
think,
know.
yeah, I think
I think it's 50-50. I got a
50-50.
devil's advocate with you because I think
That's fine.
it isn't they're living their moment. They don't know any better. They didn't grow up with our
Correct.
moment. But it's like, be careful what you wish for culture, I called it. All we wanted people to have when we were doing marketing for labels and mailing out records for reactions and raising DJs. We just wanted people to have access to the music in America.
Yep.
And that's why it's like...
Which, of course, a lot of people wouldn't come to your shows if they didn't see the video that the friend posted on the post story from last week and saw how great your event was. They would only see a flyer, and nobody would ever know besides word of mouth. But now you've got thousands of users seeing it on a story on their cell phone, which is then advertising.
Right, with 1,000 million other stories and
Correct.
goes in and out
Sure.
of their head. So
Yep.
I don't always agree,
Exactly.
because I think it's
Exactly.
oversaturation. And I think
Yep.
that if there's a lot of venues, like Jeff said, that are doing a no phone policy, I want them to experience. I mean, they're never going to experience. They weren't in
The
the
real
beginning,
raves,
how
yeah,
we were.
back in the day, yeah.
But I like who just did it recently. It wasn't. I think it's Kevin, Glasgow Underground. Sorry, Kevin McKay.
Oh, Kevin McKay. Yes.
Yeah, he just started I forgot what it's called, and it's going back to the roots. If you look at what he's doing.
Yeah, he's in UK, Glasgow.
He has what is it called? A new brand that is no phones, only
Okay.
150
Lane 8's big on that here,
covers
too.
and-
Yeah, Lane 8 is.
And
Yeah.
and he's starting this, and everybody rocks. Yay, that's amazing. Okay, I think yes, they're in their moment, but if they knew what it was like not to be in that moment and experience the
Oh, I know.
90s moments, I think they wouldn't film as much.
But also, some of us back in 1994 were so drugged out we had no idea where we were either.
Well, speak for yourself. But also, you know that meme that comes through like, oh, the 90s. Good thing there's no evidence. I have the evidence. 'Cause I was around taking all the photos on tour of all my artists, and people would say I was annoying for taking so many photos. I was just ahead of time.
But you had to, which brings us to your agency. Tell us a little bit more about Hands on Deck and what you did with that and where it got you, because I'm sure you've got to experience being behind the scenes with some of the DJs that are pretty big, probably big now.
Yeah.
You've got some stories. If you want to share them, feel free. But tell us about your agency,
part
what you
2.
did. Yeah.
Someone has to book me again here, and then I'll come for part 2.
Deal.
I love coming to St. Pete. Really, it's so vibey. I think it's because it's by the water, the culture.
Yeah.
The crews are my favorite.
St. Pete's a
They're-
great culture, the
It is.
downtown. It really is
It
an
is.
I love it.
interesting crowd,
Yeah.
so artistic.
Yeah, it's just like I
And very,
love
and I
the
think
people
very
here.
welcoming.
Yeah.
Oh, the
People are very welcoming. here.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, I'm out of town. I'm across the pond.
Yeah.
But opportunities.
Yeah.
They're not. You guys are not afraid of just trying something out, which is it's all about.
St. Pete has always been super bohemian and very artistic to begin with.
Yeah.
And it's still full of a lot of artists in general, artists painting, sculpting, etc. And a lot of them are upset because they see the movement in of the richer people and all these
Yes.
buildings downtown.
Yeah,
They feel
yeah.
like it's a breakdown. But it's also shifting. And I've heard 22-year-old kids be like, "Oh, I want to move over to St. Pete because the house is a lot better over there."
Yeah.
The house
Yeah,
music.
I
that
hear
is,
the same.
Yeah.
But tell us a little more about Hands on Deck.
Okay, so Hands on Deck was one of the first, I guess would be called a boutique agency. First agencies in North America.
Okay.
In the mid 90s.
Okay.
And the collaboration happened with my partner Amanda Pearl, who's amazing, still one of my best friends, and I saw her at music conference recently in March.
Okay.
And she was a marketing director at Ashtaworks, and I was working at MTV Networks on an interesting project, which we don't have enough time to tell that, but well, it was like it was called The Goods. It was going to be like a hip home shopping.
Okay.
Right. So we did projects on all the channels. So as I got more into house music, and my partner brought me turntables for a birthday present, but would bring home the CDs from England, and we'd go to London and meet people in clubs and doing record labels. So that was a really exciting time.
Oh, wow.
So I thought in my naive young head, when we're a 24-hour shopping channel, I'm going to do the 2 to 4 a.m. DJ show. So I started collecting videos from labels and coffee table books. And, I put the first DJs on the MTV Awards, but it was like in the audience, and
Okay. That's cool.
project I was through what I was doing, The Goods. We did VH1 fashion show. I made myself the music consultant, so put like the first dance tracks on VH1, and I would collect all the CDs from my labels and give them to producer of the show. So I was trying to, we sat with, even though I wasn't in the music per se section of MTV, but we sat with the music people before AMP came out and like pitch shows and as outside partnership and different things. So I was already
That's an important position right there.
diving deep in there. And so I met Amanda because she was giving, me the Ashtaworks, CDs and videos, right?
Yeah.
Because when I pitched the shows, they said, well, there's no video. So then I had a side company that started producing videos. So we did Todd Terry's Keep on Jumping and some other things, but
That's a
I
good song.
digress.
That's a big one, yeah.
So for some reason, Jody Wisternoff dropped in my lap for a weekend.
Okay.
And I just walked into the Twio that was currently Danny Teneglia on Fridays, and maybe it was June. No, I can't remember who. I just walked in and said, you should have Jody and have some international DJs.
Yeah.
So Amanda and I became, the worked with Twilo, building it that became the successful Friday night. We didn't have.
Where was this?
New
Where's
York.
this? New York? Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So we brought in international
What are some names
DJs
that
with
you had?
Nick Warren, Pete Lazenby. I don't know if people remember Pete Lazenby, but he was one of the first. He did Sacred Cycles and
Okay.
Wave Speech and a lot of classics.
Okay.
Anybody?
No.
Nope.
No, but I'm interested.
okay, so-
If you want to send me this, I'd love to learn. I'd love to
So-
learn some of the history that I don't
So
know.
I mean, I don't think unless you were in bigger cities, honestly, in the States, we would know a lot of these prominent people, like New York, New York, Chicago, LA,
Detroit,
stuff like that.
Mhm,
Detroit. Yeah, I grew up in rural Ohio, and I mean, I've been listening to music since 1989, but I didn't get into the stuff we all listened to and we have grown up listening to until early 2000s. Just a thought on that, but that would be
well, those
why
are
you
pretty
had
big,
that.
I guess, progressive classics and just regular house classics. Those two of those I mentioned. But I worked with Spunday was an awesome. Have you guys ever heard of Spunday in San Francisco? So a lot of
No.
people. Okay, so they had a Sunday night that we sent everyone to. It was amazing, and so Pete Lazenby was coming through Spunday, and we put him at Twilo, and he was he's a brilliant producer and DJ, and he was one of the people that first had digital.
Okay.
And
Like a
I'll
digital
never
setup?
forget, like, we went to Danny's booth and he put the covers on the turntables and took out like the original CDJs, and I'll never forget the face. He was like, what's going on? Yeah, it was just amazing. Like Twilo became like the biggest club. Like they're more known for, which I didn't have anything to do with, the Sasha and Digweed residency.
Okay.
And that was Sue Balance record, and Jimmy Van M.
This was in.
But it was
this in San
simultaneous.
Diego?
It was a couple months after Amanda and I had the Twilo. So we could turn the, industry was like, I don't know Twilo a lot. So we made, black Twilo industry cards, and we sat at the office faxing the guest list every Friday night, and,
Oh, wow.
making sure everybody was taken care of, which
Yeah.
is another subject, which doesn't happen these days as much as it should, but it's also
When
maybe
taking care of
because
artists who come into town and stuff.
industry
Yeah, taking care of-
respect,
Yeah. I get
like
that.
just
I get that.
like we used to help each other, and
Yeah.
we make sure everyone's on the guest list, and
Yeah.
that you're, and it's also because there's so many people now, and maybe people, why should they know my history or
Yeah.
care about me? But but there are, sometimes just,
Oh, I'm sure you got a
that's a
lot to
whole
learn.
other
I'm sure you
subject,
got a lot to teach us.
there's like, yeah.
Which-
So I wanted, there's like, and sometimes I get like a pushback, because I'm a strong New Yorker, and like Amanda and I, we ran our business on like chutzpah, if you know that word, and like naive, like trying, just like, oh, we should do. It was such a, I can't even explain it. We need another 5 hours. It was just an amazing time. It was way in the beginning of the culture here in America, because England had taken our music and made a lifestyle out of it.
Yeah.
And it was going back and
We didn't
forth.
take
We're
your
working
music,
for.
babe. we didn't take your music.
Yes, you
We-
did.
we
you
adapt-
took our house music from
we-
Chicago,
we-
Detroit,
we
and you
adapted
made a
it.
lifestyle.
I remember everything started in England and came to the U.S.
Oh, that's well. There you
Well,
go.
we'll get back to that one in
Yeah.
a moment. We're talking-
Well, just to touch on a little bit about what you were saying, and what we did this weekend is we brought an artist up from Miami, and in order for us all to just make it work, he stayed at my house. You know what I mean? And that was, and we picked him up from, his arrival. We dropped him off for his departure. He stayed at our house. We, had dinner. We made sure that it was a comfortable stay. As it probably should be if you're going
Yeah,
to be
I
doing
mean, it's
something
sort of like-
that.
Oh, we
more
did that a
now,
lot.
it's like given. It's like before the promoters used to. Now it's more kind of equal, not
Yeah.
unless you're a superstar.
Right.
Okay, we work together. Whereas
Right.
before it's like, I'm a diva, so you have
Yes.
to do all these things. And our writer and our pickup and
Yeah.
itinerary had
Yes.
like 3 pages of things you have to do for our artists. But it's just it's also smaller. So and we were in the beginning, so agents would call each other.
Yeah.
We'd have relationships with hey, what about this promoter? And what do you think of this DJ? You got offered Tiesto, I got offered Tiesto. Like
Yeah,
we just
yeah.
talk about it and
I
help
wish we
each other.
shared
In
numbers.
fact, in
Oh,
the,
yeah,
the
I know,
project that Jeff and I met at, which we can talk about soon too. We were in a. I don't know if you guys heard of Clubhouse. It was an app during lockdown.
Yeah.
Remember that
it was-
Clubhouse?
I did hear about
yeah, it was
Clubhouse,
very
yeah.
music, and there was like a lot. It was like Instagram influencers,
Yep.
crypto people, NFTs, and music people because they were staying home.
Yep.
And so at Hash, an A&R person from New York, we started Dance and Electronica. What's next? So it'd be one of the rooms, and then he made us admins, and we took it over.
Yeah.
But that's another story.
That's a long one.
Where was I going with this? Oh, so one of the rooms I went to once, it was an agent. She was super stressed out. Like in our room, like LA people would come late at night, and we'd have to talk them off the ledge because they'd never been in the they don't know what to
They
do.
don't know what to
They're
do
in
with
the
themselves.
house,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, so, and then we're just, talking to people, swapping war stories, and people were listening. And then England would get up in the morning, come back into the room. So that was fun. But there was a room with I think it was an agent, and she was just bugging out, like, like some kind of communication. And then I was in with the owner of Bullet, and we were DMing each other. Remember when we used to talk to each other? So it's just so saturated, and it's become what we wanted, a big
Yeah.
business.
Yeah.
But it's also lost some of the
soul.
that we
Yeah.
got
Soul
into in the
fun
first
and-
place.
yeah,
There is
yeah.
a way
I
to
can
do.
imagine.
I think there's. I don't like this angle. Okay. I don't like this angle.
You look great. You
She
look
looks
great.
good.
You're fine.
There-
You're
there is
perfectly
a-
fine.
There is a. I don't know. I think.
Just
and
eat your
then I feel
microphone.
like usually
Eat your microphone.
Yeah,
I'm
just eat.
coming in like a New York, like I raised some of the top DJs in the world, and I'm coming in, and then
Yeah.
people are telling me, "Oh, you're too aggressive. You're too New York." But that's how I learned. That's what I do.
Yeah.
And everybody's so PC today, and you can't
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting here. What's going on, kids? Come on.
I get
and
it.
I don't know how to come in and like help it. And I also, I don't want to dominate the conversation, but after COVID, Jeff and I did a project together that was a digital gig, virtual.
Yes.
And
It's like
Like on
Zoom.
Twitch
sorry.
Zoom.
It was like
it was
Zoom on
its own
steroids.
Oh, okay.
application. It was, and we can talk, and everyone's like, start your agency again. So the lineup we had became
The
agency, but it was
agency?
so tough. I was like, are you going to answer my DM, mofo? Like, I just used
yeah.
to pick up the phone, and in 3 phone calls, like, okay, I'm being exaggerating. Then I have a residency for Timo Massachusetts. But it was more than that. But it
Yeah.
was like, I couldn't get through the clutter, and
Yes.
I love building the middle. Like, I guess answering your question, because I went
No,
a
this
bit,
is good.
but
We got to know about it.
we did a lot. We were hands on deck because there was no marketing agencies,
Hands
no
on
PR.
deck. I like that.
Yeah, and
I
deck,
see
so,
now.
Yeah,
I see.
And we were a few females, so we did get a tease by. We won't go there. You know what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
But today, nobody would stand for it. But yeah, it was funny. What the boys would say. So we were just like, our logo, if you've seen it, it's a record, half a record with 2 silhouette heads, girls coming out, and we just like powerhouses of like 2 creative, like go-getters,
Yeah.
go-getting.
I love that.
And we did marketing prep. We did events in Miami every year at Winter Music Conference.
Yeah.
And our one of our claims to fame was called, at the time, we could name a party Tech, and we had some, and it was the original weekend.
Okay.
The first space opened. So it was Danny again. I love Danny Teneglia on like the Friday.
He's
and
a real dude.
And hands
Oh,
on.
yeah.
He's a real dude.
I love him so much. He's like, really. And he's, anyway, it was hands on deck on Saturday, and we did tech breaks, tech house, tech trance. So we had like, you have to pull up the flyer. So it was amazing. If you looked at the artists that were on that lineup. So we did, music conference. We did licensing and remixes. We mailed out reaction sheets with records.
Okay.
And did reports. We broke not only DJs but labels in North America.
And
like
that
Hope-
doesn't happen much anymore.
No.
Breaking
No,
breaking
no, not
artists.
breaking artists,
is
no.
just not a thing very much anymore.
Also, the middle is gone. So when I tried to redo it, and that's like, I'm trying to make the story short. I tried to come out, and I had some like really good artists, DJs, but it was like, nobody cares about your house legends, kind of vibe. And it was also, what did you just say? Sorry, went off track again. This is terrible. It was a long weekend.
Or are we talking about the agency or breaking DJs?
Yeah, breaking. We used to have only territories for agents, so I tried to collaborate with a few. But
Yeah.
now that everyone could talk to each other and there's social media,
Yeah.
and then everybody already got huge. That like some of them were my industry friends back in the day, and I felt like, oh, I missed so many years.
Did you
It
just
was,
stop? Did you stop doing the agency for a while?
Yeah,
Or-
I stopped. Well, both of us just got burnt out after about a decade.
I could feel that.
Yeah,
The industry's rough.
Yeah, it was and we're like, I don't want any more DJs sleeping on my couch, But, like, and it was like we threw parties. Like we lived in Greenpoint before Greenpoint was cool.
Okay.
And we had like a 2,000 square foot roof deck. So we threw industry parties. They were like famous, and birthday parties. And when our DJs were in town and other. But then I saw the Twin Towers fall from that rooftop, and it was just a really hard time.
Yeah.
And we did marketing for what I was saying before that I didn't finish. I love building the middle. I love the build.
No,
right?
tell me a little bit
So
about
we
what you
had-
mean by
we-
the middle.
We had we had, you could build artists at raves when it was 3 rooms for 12 hours. But then what happened, like to us, is that it became about the clubs, went for the opener for $100, the superstar for 10,000, I'm just saying. So there's no middle. That's what I mean by the middle.
Yes.
We had like consistently working DJs at good levels and, all throughout North America. And
Very cool.
but then the middle started to fall out. There was those rave acts that came, and there was no
Yeah.
more raves.
Yeah.
And then we had relationships with people running dance music divisions at like Sony and Atlantic. So then
Yeah.
we did the marketing retainers.
Okay.
But then all those labels started closing all those divisions. And I remember recently when I got back, Spinning Records sold for 20 million. I'm like, we couldn't even get a 1,500 retainer, but, so I was like, what happened? So there were some things so I just got burnt out. It was those factors as well.
Yeah.
And also it was funny. We said we should have combined with somebody that we were friendly with, and we actually gave them the second room, the upstairs at Twilo, AM only, and they, became. We'll have Tiesto going back to that from before, and like Breakbeat Science, and we gave them the second room and to have a different sound there. And they're huge, and we're like, we keep raising our superstars, and then they jump to Paul Morris, so maybe he should buy us, Yeah. And we just we were not also like I had 2 creative partnerships, and we didn't have the best. We needed a third business person, and we say that, so we needed to we loved the relationship, building relationships,
Yeah.
running around, traveling, going on tour. We needed people to reel us in a bit and
And do the business.
Yeah, so all those things happened. So it's like, okay, moved to Florida to chill from September 11th, and the tree came through my house in Charlie, which, long story short, led to my partner and I doing the very first fundraising and dance music with the world's top DJs. That was my next project.
Okay. Wow. Does that lead into Mini House Club?
Well, I did. That's after. Mini
That was
House is
after?
after.
Okay.
Yeah. So we had we had involved events, and
Yeah.
we created the first. See, all this stuff doesn't sound. I'm just looking at you because I'm not letting you talk, am I? It's like
No, it's it's really funny because my friends say to me, when Sherry talks and everything, do you want the Sherry long story or do you want the Sherry short story? Which one do you really want?
And then they're like, "Oh wait, no, I love your story." So I'm trying to be concise and respectful, but there's so much. So I'm trying to give you the short.
Well, we do only have 15 minutes left. So
Which is good. See, look at
minutes?
that.
Yeah.
15.
15 minutes.
Oh, okay. So I'll do quickly and then
Mini
go
House.
back to Jeff. Involved events. It doesn't sound, if you can imagine, no smartphones. Going back in 205, 204, 205.
Okay.
Like there was one of our main supporters was at
2005?
Yeah, it was at a college, but he was like at med school, and he was like, get on Facebook as we were stopping in 07. So we had no social media. We had constant contact in MySpace.
Yeah.
And we had the first fundraising company, and now people are, so many people did it before, not Patreon, but whatever that was called. And now they have
Like
the
Kickstarter and all those stuff.
Amplify
Yeah,
and
yeah.
all those.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
we have created 2 things, auctions, and we auction on eBay. My eBay feed. Okay, let me step back. Signed
eBay.
merchandise, exclusive experiences. We created VIP
Is this music
experiences
stuff?
across the world.
All music? All like EDM?
All house music.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, so we had it was those years when it was the hurricane came, Orlando, Katrina came, then the tsunami. So we worked with UNICEF. We gave all our money to UNICEF, and we created fundraising auctions, and we like say the DJs love soccer and foodies. So the soccer FIFA go, hey, we got Tiesto again. I don't know why I keep saying
Well, you're loving Tiesto at the moment, baby. You are.
Yeah, Paul Van Dyke, in Germany, then Holland, and this.
You had
person,
Pete Tong as well.
Very cool.
Please get your FIFA cup and sign it. The shirt and then we auctioned it online. We did a bowl-a-thon in Miami for years at Lucky Strike, and you could bid to be on the teams with. Pete Tong, Deep Dish, Sasha, everybody. And so fans would get on teams, and then we'd have auctions and DJs playing. And then we created VIP experience where you're met by point people around the world, and you're whisked in like you're the best friend of the DJ, and you're up in the booth, and you got a
that's cool.
signed
That's
CD or poster. You met your favorite artist. I'm getting chills because I love this project so much.
That's really exciting.
Your money went to help kids in America, because the first time UNICEF went to America when all that happened,
Yeah.
Katrina and around the world, and they were like, Shari's the best. So it was like a Leo dream, because the feedback was like, they met their, I love Shari, I loved it. Like, and we went just a short, like, and it was just like, oh, let's do this very, quickly, and we're putting our board together. But we get like, for example, get involved. We do, involved events was the name. It was Get Involved New Year's.
Okay.
We had 40 VIP experiences on New Year's from Australia to LA. So we got the winners that, in the eBay auction into the bet, like into Insomniac to Pascal, and then like even in LA at the last gig, we had to switch promoters and get these winners that bid so much into an equally good event at 11 a.m. LA time before New Year's.
Yes.
It was operations, logistics.
Yeah,
I love
that's a
that.
lot.
It was really making people happy. And
cool.
really the first fundraising, and then that we won't talk about what happened there. And then I had a kid in a recession.
Okay.
Yeah. So and then I was like, oh, what is this? I like jet setting to Paris better, So and but after a few
What is this?
Yeah. Right. And my friends are like, start a company. You're good at that. I'm like, I can't even get a box of diapers. I'm in Orlando with no car. Like, so it was a tough time. And then I started Mini House Club because I wanted to get back into the music.
Yeah.
From not
which makes
with
me
my
think
kid and get, be involved.
You had to be a really early trendsetter in that genre, in that like event kind of space, because now it's a huge thing. Have you seen like the baby techno and rave stuff coming out?
Yes, I've
like
seen them.
it's a huge market right
Yeah.
now. But I can't imagine
They were
during
just here at the Ritz.
2000. Yeah, they were.
Oh, right.
I can't imagine during 2005 anybody thought about something like that, or would have like.
no, Mini House was later. Like more, it was like to
Even still.
15 and it
Even
wasn't
still.
enough trendy parents to make it consistent. And
Yeah.
I myself was, in survival mode, and you can't be creative when you're in survival mode.
Yeah.
Coming out of like the recession and everything, single parenthood. So, but I wanted to get back to the music, so I did that. And people are like, you have to do it every month, and I needed funding, and I need to have the tools to put that together. So we did it recently in Miami when we had a brewery because they had Sunday family programming, and I want to do one here because, once in a while I'll do it, but Jeff Talk Kids in Miami when we did it, it was, to see, I even played one and I wasn't really DJing them, but the DJ canceled at the last minute. And, I saw, like, I partnered with Sam Ash and Guitar Center, and are they all around anymore? I don't know.
Yes, they
and
are still.
And I got this, like, set
By a
up,
thread.
and the
By a thread.
10-year-olds are coming up to me. Do you have a SoundCloud? Where do I get the setup? And that also gave me chills, like, involved events to inspire.
Yeah.
But now I have a collection, Mini House Club, when you do on your and there's, like, so many kid DJs that are, with the Instagram of 2 million followers. It's like, oh, I missed the boat again. So I'm very innovative, but I don't always have the tools or the funding to kind of make it happen.
I love
forget-
your entrepreneur
Don't
spirit.
forget, you live in a world where there is a squirrel puppet that has 450,000 followers.
That's it.
One of the things that I liked that you said was talking about the auctions and stuff. When I was younger, I was heavily involved at the PBS station where I was going to college at, and they did a lot of auctions. But one of the things that I think that's funny and where I miss out, younger kids today, like in their mid-20s and stuff, I don't either A, they don't know it can be fun, or B, they just don't find that kind of stuff fun. If I gathered up a bunch of 23-year-olds and said, oh, we're going to do an auction on TV for a blah, 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 or something like that, they'd probably be like, what?
I want to do a dance-a-thon.
Right.
Like, don't take my idea, everybody. That's also what happens too.
But it's nice how
Let's do it
I
all
get it.
together.
I
it's
get
nice
it.
how
I wanna
things.
hear.
It's weird how things have changed like that over the years, and like on PBS now, they don't even do local stuff anymore. It's all pre-recorded nationally. But
Yeah. It's all about education as well, I think.
So back to Jeff,
Yeah.
because I don't want to we have a few, but that's
Yeah,
how
8 minutes
we
left.
ended up
8
meeting after Mini House.
so you're gonna have about 2.
And,
There she goes.
I'm going to segue. I am. We met at that Clubhouse project,
Yeah.
and also a lot of. I was also something interesting about me that I don't go around saying except to, DJ friends or like because my whole music collection was stolen. My music collection I was collecting for decades, so I hid out. And that's
that
also
hurt
why I
my
started
soul.
like to get back in the music. But I was kind of like, okay, I give up, kind of give up. And then in lockdown, after lockdown, I was like, yay, it's been a year. I'm like, it's been a decade. I was like running around going, yay, I'm out again.
Yeah.
But when I met Jeff on Clubhouse and he inspired me, he sent me all his music.
Yeah.
because I lost all mine, but also I had collections like merchandise and from all those companies. Whatever, we won't go there because
Yeah.
I'll cry on your podcast.
don't cry.
But that inspired me to coming out of COVID. I just got an RX2 controller.
Yeah.
You know, I started the agency again, but I kind of was like, well, why am I working so hard for not getting
Yeah,
anywhere?
for
I
not
might as well
getting
just,
anywhere,
you
I
know,
get it.
play myself.
Yep.
And here we are.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
I love
it.
Jeff, 10 seconds.
10 seconds. I know, yeah. Well, I've got to be,
That's his timing.
I've got to be, I've got to be careful because obviously, you know, she's my fiance, but she's also my boss as well. So she does. She gives me well, she is and still doing, giving me a kick up the ass and saying, "Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that?" So, you know, you've played all over the world with all these big DJs.
Yeah.
You've warmed up for them. They're all your friends and everything. You know, my social. I mean, I'm crap at social media. I've got to be honest. But she's like,
Oh, I'm
"Yeah, you
terrible at
can't post-
social media too. Don't feel bad.
you can,
Yeah.
yeah, thank you very much,
Sorry,
Alvin.
love it.
Yeah, you know, you can't post that out. You know, that doesn't look like. And I'm like, oh no, people know who I am and blah 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 blah. But
No.
but it's a
Oh,
good,
I
it's a
wanted
good
to
thing
say
though in my
Humble
career.
House, he is
Yeah.
the most humble DJ in the world, and people.
No doubt. I could tell.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But it's that life cycle we were talking about earlier,
It is,
though.
yeah.
Is you know, it's a young man's game.
Yep.
And you know, I always tell, like I've told Ketone this before. I said, you know, well, my problem is, one, I'm bad at social media, and two, I'm old.
Yeah. Well, that's it. Yeah, I'm glad you're in the same boat as me. Because we didn't have that back in the day. It was a little flyer, you know.
Yeah.
Which was
And that flyer would do it all for you.
That flyer. I mean,
Well,
we
tell them
used to-
about your Ibiza seasons.
Oh yeah, quickly.
Ibiza.
So I was with Miss
Ibiza.
Moneypenny's. We were doing a club called El Divino. It's called Leo now. Great club in Ibiza. So, but before I had actually joined the team and everything, they were running Pasha the club.
Yeah,
And then,
Pasha,
Pasha. So that's where they first started. Then they moved to El Divino, which was a great club right by the water where the boats moor up and everything. We have superstars coming. We did fashion TV events there. You know, all the supermodels coming over and film stars bringing their boats up and things like that. But that was a great club. And then I was working with we were working with a company called the Mind Group in Germany. So I started doing tours with those guys over in like Berlin and Germany and, you know, over Europe. And they were doing a party on a Wednesday in Ibiza, the old Space Club, which is now High in Ibiza, if people know that one. The original Space, which we all miss and we all cry.
Yeah. Carl Cox played the last set there, right?
Yeah,
When they
that's
closed
right.
down.
Yeah,
I
well,
remember
Carl's
that.
residency was fantastic. And we did I was one of the residents for a Wednesday party, daytime party
Very
called In Bed
nice.
with Space. So In Bed with Space was, it was In Bed with Space on the terrace. And then inside the night was called Twisted, where you had the music was a bit like, tougher and Bushwhacker would play there and things like that. So
I
that
brought the
was,
first N tour over, by the way.
yeah, she did. Yeah. So Ibiza was great for me. I mean, I've got friends that are residents and music directors at Cafe Del Mar, Cafe Mambo's. Really
Cafe
good,
Del Mar,
yeah.
yeah.
Really good friends of mine. You know,
I've never had a
and-
chance to get to Ibiza.
No.
No?
Do you know? There's a lot. I mean, I took SHARI 2 years ago. 3 years ago. Yeah, Clockwork Orange, and she'd never been. There's a lot of people that never been, but I think
I know.
I had this conversation
those
last
years.
week with some DJs. Oh, Jeff, we've never been to Ibiza. Tell me what it's like. But
Well,
I can
it's
tell
also
you,
become a very rich scene that, like most things
Oh, yeah.
with us, where the money
Commercial.
Yeah, exactly. It
Yes.
becomes so commercial, and then it's so much money, and then it's just like you can either go there and be quote unquote in the dredges with the GA,
Yes.
or you go there and you make $10 million a year and you get up on the
well,
terrace.
that's it. You get get
Well, I
behind
think if
everybody.
I went for my first time as a fan or a tourist, it wouldn't be as magical. But even flying over the island, it was magical.
Yeah.
You know.
It's
Yeah.
yeah.
And I saw some artists I haven't seen in 20 years. So, but between the two of us,
Yeah.
we were good. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
like
we were
Right.
good.
it was an
Yeah.
amazing experience.
I love that.
It is good, but I mean, like I say to people, I could tell you all day long what my experiences, and but you've got to go for yourself. But like you were saying, do you do the cheap and cheerful, which is really
I like
good.
that, cheap and cheerful.
Cheap
That's
and
actually a
cheerful.
good term. I like
That
that.
is a good
And
term.
that's a phrase that we have in
Yep.
the UK. Yeah, cheap and cheerful, or you're gonna spend the whole of your year's salary in one weekend.
Yeah,
What do you want to do?
I feel that.
Or do
I
you
have
want
to
to
admit,
go?
since I've gotten older, I'm a little bit bougier.
I
Cheap
love
and cheerful is fun too.
I'm a cheap and cheerful kind of guy.
We found a great little Spanish tapas bar around the corner from the hotel we were staying at, and it was peanuts. The food was great. The people there, they're all Spanish. There
Yep.
were no Brits there, you know, and no tourists there. But I like that because I'm a foodie. I've travelled the world, and cheap and cheerful is good sometimes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
As long as, you know, you've got a decent shower and the bed's okay, it's clean.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter in Ibiza
I like how
because
the bed's okay.
Yeah.
yeah,
Gotta have a
You've
good
got-
shower,
you've
but
got-
the bed don't
yeah,
matter.
it
So
does.
Jeff, I'm sorry to interrupt
That's
you,
all
but
right.
we only have 2 minutes.
2
Yes.
minutes,
But
okay.
where does everybody find you?
Yes.
You can find me on Facebook and Instagram, also on the Hands on Deck Agency. You can follow me on SoundCloud, Jeff Jefferson DJ, and Mixcloud, DJ Jeff Jefferson.
And anything coming up in the near future?
I've got a few tracks I'm working on at the moment. So yeah, watch this space. I'm back on the production front
that.
from
Good.
getting the kick up the backside by the boss.
yeah.
But yeah,
Send us some demos too. You know, we got the label Humble House Records.
yes,
Yeah, make sure you
okay.
send us
Yeah,
too. What about
definitely.
what about you, Sherry?
I
Where-
had my first release. And out with one of the DJs, Ralphie D, which we can speak another whole hour about the agency and what. But okay. Have you guys heard of Ralphie D? Do you know what happened to him at 15, where he was the residency at Club Odyssey 2001 in Brooklyn? You know what happened there?
No.
They filmed Saturday Night Fever.
Saturday Night
Oh.
Fever.
He found himself like in the middle of the disco explosion. Plus,
that.
he was doing tracks with Lenny D, Frankie Bones, I think too.
Okay.
Back in the day, he did
Frankie's
a lot of
fire.
techno tracks. So he traveled the world, the first raves. Long story short, we did a track together, and it got to number 4 on the new disco indie dance chart.
Wow.
On Traxsource, right?
And
Traxsource.
I'll need more time to talk about that. But I did learn about a blink of an eye, your track is gone, and I'm like, what is this? You know, so and what that everybody was talking about. And I'll be working on some things in the future. That was fun, and I did it with a goal so I can make charts on Traxsource also.
Very
You know,
cool.
so I can do that and just kind of push out a little.
Yeah.
Push
well,
myself out.
we distribute to Traxsource and all the other stores too. So if you're making some more disco, we love disco. But where can the people
He
find
does
you
love
at?
disco.
I do. I love disco.
Yeah. Good.
I'm I'm a big disco fan. Yeah. But tell the people where they can find you.
Well, I'm at Mighty Shari.
Yes.
It's with a SHARI, MIGHTY.
Is that all the social medias?
All the social medias.
Sure.
And yeah.
See, listen up, kids.
And
Marketing
I'm
thing,
SoundCloud
same name on
mix,
everything.
Same
Yep.
as Jeff Jefferson.
Yeah.
DJ. The same. SoundCloud, Mixcloud.
Yeah.
Instagram.
What do you have
Facebook.
coming up? Anything
For
coming up in the rest of this year?
Yeah. Well, I got a bunch of stuff in November. That's really fun. And
We're talking about Miami next year as well, aren't we?
yeah, we're working on
30
Miami
seconds.
for next year. But I have.
Like Family Feud hosts over here. 30 seconds.
I'll be back here at the end of the month
Okay.
to go back at Red Thread with Inner Sanctuary's new Saturday
Oh.
brunches. I love brunch, so I'm going to do. That's the place to catch me next
Okay.
year. Otherwise, I have an EDC's after hours, but it's
We'll have to come and catch your set.
yeah, ADC after hours, and then we're playing together in Orlando. Just a fun
EDC
thing.
afters, yeah.
The next weekend,
Yeah.
and then what else is happening? So
I don't know.
just
You've
got
got the
you-
calendar. I'll just go where you
We
go.
just
babe.
got you a follow.
Doing-
Psychosomatic just
Hey.
followed you guys.
Aw.
And that's
Nice,
thank
thank you
you,
very much.
Psychosomatic. And on the 22nd, there's a house music in Ocala. Kiyoki just played there with a producer, DJ Joe Cox. He started
Oh,
so
yes.
things.
Yes,
yeah,
Joe
so I'm
Cox is
playing
fire.
at his Ocala house music Ocala.
Joe
on
Cox
the
is
22nd.
signed to our label too.
No way.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love
Check
that.
it out.
Yeah.
He's
So,
a great guy.
so
Nice.
I can't wait to meet him. I've just
So
been
lots of good
talking to
things
him,
coming on
so-
for both
and
of
I'm-
you.
Yeah, lots
Yeah.
of good things. Yes. Yeah.
Well,
I'm glad you guys are here.
he was
Thank you
worried
for
we weren't going to
coming.
make it through the show tonight.
That's why I said to you, how long have you got?
No, you guys. I can't wait to have you again. We definitely
Oh,
got to have you
definitely,
guys
yeah.
back. 'cause
Yes,
I feel
absolutely
like
need
there's
to have you back.
so much more you guys can teach the scene and teach people about the what you guys have learned so far.
Yep.
Especially
Yep.
with your entrepreneurial spirit. I love that.
Yep, thank
Thank
you.
you.
But thank you guys so much for joining us. Houseology Live. We were at the Moxie. You just saw DJ Mighty Sherry, Jeff Jefferson, Rave Daddy Robbie.
Hello, hello.
I am Ketone, and we'll see you guys next week.
Peace out.